I think you need to have a dialogue with the JBC.
Or
The
perhaps
chair
they're
is
going to
actually a member of the JBC.
Yes, Your Honor.
But since it is the office of the court administrator who is representing the Supreme Court now, for the purpose of addressing this concern of the Honorable Flores, I think that formal dialogue should be taken with the Judicial and Bar Council.
We will do that. I will relay this concern immediately to the court administrator, who is the member of the Judicial and Bar Council.
I
Your Honor.
understand that the selection and nomination process is very tedious,
Yes, Your
but of
Honor.
course we can come up with something to be able to fast track
Facility.
the selection and the nomination. Because after the JBC process, it will go to the office of the president, so it really takes long to fill in a vacancy.
Ganito lang, can we ask from the Supreme Court na lang po? Ganito, in the past 10 years, ilan yung courts that are newly created? And the date when it was created, the date when it was funded, and the date when it was filled. Just for the last 10 years na lang, para hindi guesswork lang. No? Let's really see gaano katagal yung delays and where the delays usually occur, so that we can at least try to remedy it.
Yes, Your Honor. We will
10
do
years
that.
po.
10 years po.
Thank you,
So,
Madam.
2015, Your
Yes,
Honor.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you po.
May we know when the Deputy Court Administrator can submit that data?
Today is Wednesday. Perhaps next week po if
Next Wednesday. That would be reasonable. Thank you, ma'am.
Salamat po.
Any other comment, Honorable Flores?
No more, Madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we proceed to DBM for comment and manifestation to the pending bills.
Good afternoon again, Madam Chair and honorable members of this committee and to our fellow public servants. Regarding po the creation of the bills, first of all, we would like to note that the Supreme Court already has a standard staffing pattern. So we trust the Supreme Court that the creation of the positions should be compliant with the prescribed personnel complement of each sala. And then also for the organizational and staffing modification of the Supreme Court should be in accordance with Republic Act 12233 or the Judicial Fiscal Autonomy Act, particularly
If I may interrupt, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
did I hear you correctly? The creation of the court must be accompanied by the creation of the proper staffing pattern.
Yes po, Madam Chair.
Are you referring to the Supreme Court staff
Yes po. May
Only.
standard staffing na po.
only?
Yes po.
So it doesn't include yet the prosecutor who will be representing
Hindi.
the
Opo.
OJ and the PAO?
Hindi pa po sa Supreme
Because
Court pa
no
lang po
court
yan.
will be able to work
Yes po.
without the fiscal and the PAO.
Yes
So
po,
I
Madam
hope
Chair.
when you included the complete staffing pattern in the creation of the court, we should include as well the creation of the necessary position for the PAO and for the prosecution.
Opo. Actually, Madam Chair, the standard staffing pattern was from the Supreme Court po. Nevertheless po, for the PAO po, and their support staff shall be based on the prescribed ratio stipulated under RA 171 po or the Prosecution Service Act. So,
Nonetheless, I think the mathematics is very simple there. You created a sala, you created a court, you need to create a position for PAO and a position for prosec. Otherwise, they will be overburdened, appearing in several branches. No? One PAO taking care of 2 or 3 branches of the RTC. That is very tedious. And sometimes these branches are located in different places. I can say that because I was once in the litigation, no? So let us be fair to the DOJ people. If you are providing a complete staffing pattern for the creation of the court, we should provide as well a representative for the prosecution and a representative for the PAO.
yes po, Madam
That is if our intention is to make that court work as soon as possible. Thank you.
Noted po, Madam Chair. So, we will coordinate po with the Supreme Court if they can adjust their standard staffing pattern to already include the PAO
They are
anyway.
different branches actually.
Mhm.
The PROSEC belongs to DOJ. The PAO belongs to DOJ also. So I think it is the DOJ you need to coordinate with, that every time there will be a court creation with the complete staffing pattern of the judiciary, there must be a corresponding creation as well from the DOJ to represent both the PROSEC and the Public Attorney's Office.
Noted po, Madam Chair.
Oh, is that noted a commitment?
Yes.
Magagalit si Honorable Flores. Because still, that court will not work. Even with the judge and the stenographer and the clerk of court, that cannot conduct a hearing without the fiscal and the PAO.
Yes, Madam Chair. Agencies can submit naman po the creation of positions and the same should be evaluated and approved by the DBM to ensure consistency po with the existing laws po. So,
Siguro
agencies can submit
yes,
po.
let's ask OIC Secretary Vida to make the necessary communication with the Supreme Court and the DBM to create the necessary positions along with the creation of the court.
Yes
Thank
po.
you. And now your comment for the bills?
Yes po, Madam Chair. Finally po, we noted po that the same should be in accordance po with the recently passed Judiciary Fiscal Autonomy Act, particularly sections 7 and 8 po of the said bill. That is all po, Madam Chair. Thank you po. On Section 7 po, it pertains to the creation of offices and reorganization of the administrative structure of the Supreme Court. And on Section 8 po, the salary and personal administration po of the Supreme Court. Thank you po.
Now, I believe we are done with the manifestation, interpellations, and debate. And it has been manifested earlier that most of these bills were approved during the third and the final reading of the previous Congress. So this is a proper subject matter as well of Section 48 of the Rules of Congress. Some were approved on the second reading. So with that, may I hear a motion from the members of the committee?
Madam Chair, considering
Honorable Flores.
the bills filed in the creation of new and additional courts in various parts of the country have been approved on third reading by the House during the 19th Congress and transmitted to the Senate, or were approved on second reading by the House, I move for the omnibus motion or omnibus approval of all the bills creating new and additional courts as well as their corresponding committee reports subject to form and style.
There is a motion. The same is seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion for the omnibus approval of all the bills creating courts, House Bill 232, 316, 709, 786, 787, 1518, 1544, 1579, 2078, 2659, 3427, and 3122 are hereby approved.
Chair,
The Honorable
I
Rodriguez is
move that all of
recognized.
those present earlier and present now be considered as co-authors of this bill. They were here earlier, but they have to go to other committees.
There is a motion to include the members of the committee as co-authors of all these bills. Do I hear a second?
Those present, Madam Chair.
The same has been seconded. Those who are present only.
Yes.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion to include the present members as co-authors of these bills is hereby granted.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I believe that we need also a motion for the approval of committee reports towards the approval of all these bills. Can I hear a motion from the members?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the committee report in relation to these bills.
There's a motion to approve the committee report. Is there any second? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the committee report, the motion for the approval of the committee report supporting all these bills is hereby approved as well. There is a pahabol manifestation from the DBM. Let's hear from DBM.
Opo. Thank you, Madam Chair. To answer po yung question po ni Honorable
Flores.
Flores po. Per our records po, we have 711 unfilled judges po. Based po out of the
Ilang
11,000
percent yan?
Ng 11,000 po for a while po, Madam Chair. Maliit lang naman po if sa judges po.
But does it pertain to newly created courts? All of them are
All po. All
halo na siya.
authorized positions po ng
Hindi mo rin
Supreme Court.
ma-determine yan.
711 yan, ano?
Would you like to request a data from her for
Mga
newly created
6%
courts
lang naman.
only?
No, that's 11,000 is the total unfilled. Eh.
Yes po.
That does not that includes other positions.
Mm.
Opo, and of which po 711 po yung
Okay.
judges.
Yeah. But 700 out of how many judges nationwide? Yun lang. It should be different percentage. Thank you.
Perhaps it's best, DBM, if you will just submit a data. And I wish to see also that number of, I think so, the judges' position for newly created courts which remains unfilled. I think that's the concern of the Honorable Flores, no? So we can compare that with the data which will be submitted by the Office of the Court Administrator. Thank you for your cooperation, DBM. I think we are finished with our second item. So the resource persons who were invited for our second item are now excused. By the way, this is a working lunch. Our lunch is sponsored by Congresswoman Ann Matibag. Everybody is encouraged to take their lunch. And without any delay, we will be proceeding to our third item. The third item of our committee hearing is the motu proprio inquiry in aid of legislation. I lament that the principal agency referred to as the Central Authority for the purpose of the Philippine extradition law is not present in today's hearing. Nonetheless, we are in receipt of the copy of the proposed extradition bill from the DOJ, and we are sharing this extradition bill of the DOJ to the members of the committee for reference. I wish to advance the intention of the chair to sponsor the proposed bill for the Philippine extradition bill from the DOJ. We will be sponsoring the same, and I hope the other members of the committee will be joining us in supporting the amendment of the Philippine extradition law, which is one of the oldest laws also in the country. No, we have identified various gaps in our existing extradition law. We also went over the rules which was issued by the Supreme Court pertaining to the implementation of the extradition law, and I just wish to manifest that they incorporated the temporary vis-a-vis deferred surrender, which was not even mentioned in the Philippine extradition law. So I don't know how to react on this, that the procedural law appears to be beyond the substantive law. The way I see it, no? The more that we see the need to amend our existing Philippine extradition law. Nonetheless, based on our initial evaluation of the proposed bill of the DOJ for the Philippine extradition law, I believe that that is comprehensive and it addresses the gaps already. Nevertheless, we will be setting the discussion of the provisions of this proposed extradition bill along with the DOJ perhaps on the next hearing. Nevertheless, I understand that the other resource persons are here because we invited the Department of Foreign Affairs and the AMLA. Tama? Thank you for coming. So for now, I wish to ask whether our requested data or information from the last hearing were duly submitted to the committee.
Chair, before that,
Honorable
I would
Rodriguez.
just like to signify my intention after your explanation that this is really a very important bill to amend the extradition law. I wish to state that I would want to become a co-author with the Honorable Chairman Luistro. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Rodriguez. I'm
Madam
sure
Chair,
that
I also wish to
Honorable
manifest that-
Lagbas.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair Lagbas. Who else would like to signify intention to co-author the bill? I think Honorable Flores is interested also, and Honorable Matibag, and Honorable Zamora. How about Honorable Subiri? She would like to co-author also the bill of the DOJ, no? Okay, thank you for signifying your intentions to co-author this bill.